Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Omni viewer, and I don't usually drink, but if I did, I'd be breaking out the champagne right now because this is a day for celebration. On the 15th of July, in the year of our Lord 2025 AD, YouTube will officially stop monetizing videos with AI generated content and stop promoting them in the algorithm. It has finally happened. I only just recently learned about this, but today is the day it's happening, and I feel it's important to commemorate it. Now, why is it happening? Well, it's basically to deal with the channels that have been popping up since AI has taken off that basically just churn out AI content nonstop. They're called the slop farms because that's all they make. They make low effort slop, but they make it in such vast quantities that they can churn it out basically quicker than any human being could hope to make content. And because the YouTube algorithm favors the frequent uploader, that gives the AI slop farms an advantage. So they've been glutting the algorithm with all kinds of AI generated stuff, be they short videos or long form or what have you. And it's taking away from the flesh and blood creators. The official statement from YouTube is that they want to start focusing more on its human creators. So this particular move is designed to basically stop the slop farms. Now, to be clear, it doesn't prevent people from uploading videos with AI generated content. You can still do that. They can't very well stop you. But as mentioned, those videos will not be monetized. They're going to be setting things up so that they will be able to detect when AI generation is used. Yes, irony, bots, locating bots, what have you, but that's what they're doing. So you can still upload AI generated stuff if you want, but this move is meant to take away the incentive to upload such things. Because the whole idea of churning out that much low effort content is to get a huge payday in ad revenue. But it's a lazy way to do it. Lazy, but sadly lucrative. The slop farms are all about generating the maximum amount of money for the minimum amount of effort. So that incentive is going to be taken away, and videos with AI generated content are not going to be promoted anymore. And this is a huge win for the flesh and blood entertainers such as myself. It also comes hot on the heels of Disney and Universal suing an AI company over copyright infringement because AI generators do tend to steal, And it's kind of ironic that's happening given how the last major protest in Hollywood was about studios implementing AI to replace the flesh and blood writers and actors and directors. But hey, maybe that means saner heads are starting to prevail over there. I don't know. All I know is that these are some pretty big steps going forward. Hopefully, this means that we will be seeing less of this stuff now. That's the whole idea. And, personally, I think this is one of those times where it really paid off for me to be an optimist. There were so many channels I saw looking at the advancements of AI, well, advancements because it never really seems to advance that far, and talking about how the future of our entertainment, especially here on the internet, was all just going to be AI slop. There'll be so much of it, it'll stop being slop and turn into AI sludge. And that's all it's gonna be. That's where we're heading. And the flesh and blood creators, such as myself, are not going to stand a chance against it. Well, now it's the AI side that's cooked. So can't say I'm complaining there. It looks like the doom and gloom future didn't happen, or at the very least, it's not going to happen right now. Here's the thing, though. Based on my understanding, this particular approach that YouTube is taking is against all AI content. That means not just stuff that is 100% AI generated in every level, but also videos that use AI as an element. But otherwise, the people who are making those videos do put effort into other areas. If there's AI detected at all, that video is going to be demonetized. And people have pointed out that's going to affect certain channels that are not slop farms, channels that do put in effort, and that maybe don't deserve to have this sort of thing happen to them. Now, where do I stand on that particular aspect of it? Well, for starters, I'd like to point out that I don't think this particular move by YouTube is permanent. Like, yes, they're taking the extreme maneuver right now to get rid of the AI slop, but I think it's going to play out kind of like the first adpocalypse, where first they bring down the hammer, demonetizing anything with extreme content, and then they eventually lightened it a little, where they'll still demonetize you for posting certain things, but now during the upload process, there's a page where you can basically say what sort of content your video has, or if it even has that sort of content, and that determines whether it gets monetized. I see something kind of similar happening with this AI thing. They're taking the hard line right now, targeting everything and anything that has AI generated material. After the slop farms and stuff have left because they have no incentive to keep uploading because they're not going to get monetized, as a new page will probably be added to the uploading process. Right now, there is an option that says, do you use AI in this video to, I think, make it look like somebody is saying something they're not, and you can click yes or no. But I think they're going to expand on that. First, they'll say, is there any AI content in this video at all? If you click no, you move on. You're safe to monetize from that, and as far as that goes. If you say yes, you'll get a drop down menu that says click all that apply: voiceover, images, animation, music, whatever. And how much you click or what specifically you click will determine if the video gets monetized and promoted or not. That's what I predict anyway. Maybe that won't happen, but based on what's happened in the past, I think it's pretty likely. In the meantime, though, those other channels that I mentioned that are not 100% AI, but used AI simply as part of the process, they're gonna take a pretty big hit. So, is that fair? Maybe not. But unfortunately, it's unavoidable. Think of it this way. Imagine you have a garden, and there are specific plants you want growing in that garden: flowers or vegetables, or maybe a mixture of both, depending. But a garden is not something where you can just plant seeds, then walk away and never come back until whatever you planted is in full bloom or ready to harvest. You've got to actually take care of it. And that includes pulling weeds. You have to be on top of that, because if you don't pull any weeds until they've overgrown and are huge and intermingled with the plants that you already put there, well, the unfortunate thing is you won't be able to pull those weeds without sacrificing some of those flowers or vegetables. You might have been able to avoid it if you hadn't let it get that bad, but if you did, losing some of what you wanted to keep is just gonna something you have to live with. That's what we're looking at here. AI are the weeds that need to be removed, but in order to remove them, some flowers are going to have to be sacrificed. And those flowers in this case are some certain channels. I'm not worried. I haven't used AI in any of my videos, even ones like this that talk about AI. But other channels, like I said, they're going to be affected. Or at least they'll be affected until that lighter policy is introduced, if it is. Now, the thing is, though, you could whine about how it's not fair, or you can see it as an opportunity to really put yourself to the test. See, the thing is, a true artist, regardless of their field or their medium or whatever, they are defined by the fact that they are compelled to create. They don't just do it for the money or the attention. They do it because they wake up every morning and go to sleep every night driven to make stuff, whatever that stuff might be. Take it from someone like me. I've gone through many dry spells in my career. If I were writing books and making videos purely for the money, I'd have given up a long time ago. I've gone through periods where I haven't been doing so well on the financial side of things. And yeah, I've had my periods of doubt, but they always pass and I always get right back into it because I really am driven to do this. That's why I consider myself an artist, not because I think I'm the greatest thing ever or something, but because I'm just driven to do it. Now, the AI crowd has insisted that they are real artists and that AI is just a tool. Even, as they were saying that they were going to replace the traditionalists like us. So, from this point onward, those of you who believe that are going to have to put your money where your mouths are. See, you're not going to be able to monetize if you're using AI as a tool or you're uploading AI generated stuff. So, how can you respond to that? Well, I have no doubt some people will follow the AI slop farms out the door. They'll figure if they can't make money, it's not worth it. So they'll either find another platform or they'll just stop completely. Others will maybe stick to their guns, continuing to make their content as they have been, using AI as part of the process, and waiting for the time when YouTube finally lets up on the harshness of this new policy. And still others might decide that if they can't use AI and monetize at the same time, maybe they will have to learn the old-fashioned ways or find people who do know the old-fashioned ways and make them part of the team. I mean, that's not going to affect someone like me. I'm already doing things the traditional way. But for those of you who have implemented AI, this will be a trial period. I don't know how many of you will make it through, but those of you who do, I will certainly believe we're serious about it. For the rest of us, though, this is a day that we've been waiting for a long time. AI might be good for some stuff, yes, but I do not believe it has any place in the arts. Not really. Even as a tool, it's optional at best. So the war might still be going on, but this is a pretty significant battle won. That's where I stand on it anyway. So, like I said, I think this is a good day. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer signing off.